We got a problem. She saw too much. She gotta go.
Thought that smaller sort of contained approach to what was going on was sort of the intent of the piece, especially since it was so music based in terms of mood and feeling, and relied so much on lighting to establish the aesthetic of the piece. That I don't believe the protagonist speaks over the course of the 4 or so minutes, and I think it contributes to the sort of internal philosophical feel of what it means to have to go kill that little girl that the main character was going through. I thought that the piece was working specifically for that moment. So I thought that the construct within the shorter time frame and lack of context ended up making it work better. So I thought it was well done, mainly because the music matched the mood so well, and the lighting had a good counterbalance to the emotions of the actors on screen, and it just created impactful experience in a short amount of time. So I ended up thinking it was well executed stylistically.
I really liked how kind of dark they kept it, especially once it got to be him and the little girl. They kept everything in this kind of like much darker colors. And you knowing what it's about or like what he's been instructed to do, I really liked that because I think for the audience it kind of fit. And just like as like in tone, I think it really worked well to have this kind of dark, it's such a dark concept anyway. He literally been instructed to kill a child, and so I think that having all the lighting and everything else in this really really dark, almost hard to see, like setting was such a good idea. And then to stage it at night, of course, always helps kind of lean into that. And I loved how much they used silence between the two of them, and just in general with him. Um, because you get this kind of building tension when there is silence for so long, and I like that they kind of left it for you to try and like decide how the rest of that went, kind of like what the next step was. I love that they let the audience kind of take over at that point, um, but like they built you to this moment, and they just let go and let you know whoever is watching kind of take over. I loved that.
I think it was a great look at character. I think the story overall was really engaging and really interesting, but I think the establishment of character throughout this piece, through the acting and through the writing, was really interesting, and also through character choices. I think this was a really interesting thriller, and I think the pacing was really well done. I think the story was really well done. But I really want to emphasize the way that you created these characters and this world building, really, really made the piece. I think it was really interesting. I think it was really fitting of this, of the thriller genre.
I thought bro's acting was great. Really drew me in. Yeah, it was really emotional without overacting, but also not too subtle to where I was like, "What's bro feeling?" Because we could see what bro was feeling. So great acting. Also, I think it's a great situation, a great like question raiser, philosophy type. It reminds me of the concept like they teach in film school was like true character is revealed in the choices a person makes, and it's like you frame for the audience like a tough choice. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what's bro gonna do? And like whatever bro decides to do, like reveals his character, and you were intentional about that. It feels like so.
Just simple, strong, effective, gets right into it. It's just got a great style about it. The score definitely helps and really carries us through those moments, especially at the end there. The way the filmmakers just let us sit in that moment. Just long enough to make it slightly uncomfortable in the most enjoyable way, and then leaving on that big question mark was just a really effective, really powerful, and just a smart choice.
I would definitely kudos to the child actress. She definitely did a really good job conveying a lot of those emotions at the end. Um, and story wise, it definitely gives you a lot of questions to ask. Where it's like, what did she see, and what is her relation to these people? Um, And I think the whole premise is it kind of shows like the kind of separation and the sins of that life of a hitman where you essentially, she asked the question like, are you a good person? And I feel like he had like that's now his sin that he has to bear, like he has the weight of killing a child. um and yeah, that was dark.
Its pacing and the way the suspense builds up works really well in the short amount of time that the film takes place, and it's very on point for the genre.